Hey, what's up? First vlog of the new year. I know I'm a little behind. It is, in fact, January 14th. So the new year has been going on for 2 weeks now. I hope it's going pretty well. I know I'm behind on basically everything that I want to be doing this year, except my novel. My novel is going really well. I just released recently in the last, I think, week and a half maybe. I released three potential covers for my novel to get some feedback on them. But that's not what I'm going to talk to you about today. So a few weeks ago, in fact, almost a month ago tomorrow, Star Wars Episode VIII came out, The Last Jedi, and I saw it in theaters a week after it came out or so. Yeah, it was a week after it came out. And when I went, I got fancy Star Wars giant mug for drink and giant tin kind of wastebaskety thing for popcorn. And so it cost me 20 extra bucks, but I get to keep these forever and use them for future movies, like whenever I watch Star Wars again. But I want to talk to you a little bit about The Last Jedi. As a newcomer to the Star Wars fandom, I really enjoyed it. I watched Episode VII and Rogue One last year. I watched Episode 4 just like last Thursday or something. It was like a week and a half ago. But I really enjoyed it. There were some things that I liked, some things that I didn't like. For example, things I didn't like. Poe was left out of the loop on what the Alliance's or the Rebels' plan was. Like, the leaders knew he was reckless and unpredictable, and yet they chose to leave him in the dark and think that they were doing something foolish. So he went and did something even more foolish, which only caused more problems later, because the one girl and Finn both ended up on the Star Destroyer, and that caused problems for them. But in the process of that, like, there were some really cool things going on. Another thing I didn't like was Snoke. What happened to Snoke was really lame. Like, you would think that he would have seen what was coming, because he is one with the Force and he was looking directly into the minds of the people present. I'm going to keep it purposely vague for people who haven't seen the film. But the result of what happens is kind of lame, because he's sitting there talking about what's going to happen, still somehow with his superior Force power, oblivious to what's actually about to happen. And that was kind of lame. Also, we didn't get to see much of him. He just kind of showed up on holograms in Force Awakens, and he showed up briefly in person here. I might be forgetting a few instances because I've only seen either of the films once. But he just didn't do much. But some things that I really liked was the setup for Grey Jedi. Luke is very adamant about not liking the Jedi, wanting them to be extinct because there's a better way to do things. He talks about the old Jedi texts and about how there's a balance to the Force. As much as there is good, there is also evil, which is something that's really strongly throughout this point in the story, with Rey and Kylo Ren being connected by the Force somehow, which is really mysterious, and I hope they do something excellent with that in Episode 9. But as Kylo Ren's growing in power, Rey is also just suddenly growing exponentially in power, because she's getting a little bit of training, but also she's naturally tapped into the Force a couple times. And so that's really cool. The finale with Luke was pretty epic. I loved that he showed up, although when he showed up I was really confused as to how he got there, and then they revealed it and I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Cool. I'm glad that happened that way. But I didn't like how he just changed his mind on the Jedi. Throughout the whole film, he's like, oh, the Jedi are dumb, the Jedi should die, don't learn to be a Jedi, there's something more to following the Force than being a Jedi. But then at the end he's like, no, we got Jedi, we got Rey's a Jedi. That was kind of a disappointing last minute turnaround. But hopefully they do more with the Grey Jedi setup in Episode 9. Still kind of disappointed in some other mechanics, like the Alliance being able to cloak their escape pods from the radar. But then the Star Destroyer is just like, oh, let me use this other radar to detect these undetectable ships, and boom, I found them. Ha ha ha. It's kind of dumb. Like, just do something, do something better, do something smarter. Like, look out the window or something. I don't know. But I love that the codebreaker betrayed Finn and the girl. That's totally within the line of his character. Made perfect sense. Him being reckless and doing something foolish throughout the entire movie made sense. Rey trying to figure out what she was doing, and ultimately still choosing to side with the rebels was it made sense. So Kylo being emotional and getting caught up in the end with Luke instead of destroying the rebels, that's totally within character for him, because he's just this impulsive, emotional, angry young man. And so I really enjoyed that the characters, for the most, the most major characters were consistent with their established personalities, the decisions that they made, and that caused conflicts, and that resolved a few conflicts. It was just like the secondary and other characters that I didn't care for, like the leader, the one lady who took over the rebels after Leia was incapacitated. She's just foolish for not keeping Finn in the loop, even though he was demoted. She knew he was reckless and foolish, and left him to be reckless and foolish. But all in all, it was good. I look forward to rewatching it, seeing what I missed, rewatching The Force Awakens. Looking forward to the Han Solo film coming out later this year, and look forward to Episode 9. But that's it. That's what I thought about Star Wars Episode VIII. Just in general, I can give you more specifics as I continue to reflect on it, because that's how I came out of the theater. I came out of the theater like, I'm on the fence. Let me sit down and think about this. And I thought about it, and I was like, that was a good film. I liked it. So let me know what you liked and didn't like in the comments below, or in a private message if you want to talk to me more about it. I would love to talk. Star Wars is awesome. Talking about nerdy things and about Jesus, who is a sort of nerdy thing. Talking about these kinds of things is my jam. So let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you guys next time.